The gentleman from Indiana, Mr. Mervan, is recognized for an amendment.
Mr. Chair, I have an amendment at the desk, and I move that the reading be dispensed with.
Without objection, the reading of the amendment is dispensed with, and the gentleman is recognized for remarks on his amendment.
I rise to offer the amendment that would restore full funding for the International Trade Administration, as well as the Economic Development Administration. This bill makes a more than 20% cut to the ITA at a time when their caseload is an all-time high. The agencies does critical work in strengthening the competitiveness of the U.S. industry and ensuring that American workers can compete on a level playing field. At the moment, the ITA has 115 active anti-dumping and countervailing duty cases against products sold by foreign producers and dumped prices or unfairly subsidized by their government. And a large portion of these cases are against China. Underfunding this agency, which is already strapped for resources, will cause delays in combating unfair trade practices. This translates to job loss for workers in Northwest Indiana and across the country. Throughout my career, I've sat across from many people who have been on the losing end of unfair trade, and I can tell you that the duties imposed by the ITA are vital in combating bad practices and protecting American workers. This bill will also make a significant cut to Economic Development Administration, which helps economically distressed communities, stimulating job growth. In my district, the EDA grants have directly supported improvements in water infrastructure, transportation planning, and environmental management. The EDA is tasked with facilitating critical investment. For example, the city of LaPorte, Indiana, received $2.5 million in matching funds from the EDA for water infrastructure improvements in my district to create 185 jobs and retain additional 230 workers. These dollars support projects that drive business growth and expand job opportunities in communities that need it most. I urge the committee to restore this funding, which supports American workers and manufacturing communities. With that, I yield back.
Thank the gentleman. The chair recognizes the gentleman from Kentucky, Mr. Rogers, Chairman Rogers, to respond to the amendment.
The House bill includes responsible levels of funding for the International Trade Administration and the Economic Development Administration. This amendment would increase funding for EDA and ITA without any offsets, exceeding the bill's allocation. While there are many priorities I would have liked to fund EDA for a higher level, we must be responsible with taxpayers' money. I must oppose the amendment and urge my colleagues to do the same, and I yield back.
Thank the gentleman. The gentlelady from New York, Ms. Ming, is recognized to address the amendment.
Mr. Chairman, I strongly support this amendment, which restores funding for programs that create and preserve good American jobs when working families need them most. At a time when our families are struggling with the high cost of living, we should be doubling down on job creation, not slashing the programs that help American businesses compete and win. Yet this bill, as written, guts EDA grants by over 35%, walking away from investments that have created hundreds of thousands of jobs and revitalized struggling local economies, primarily in rural areas. EDA grants are not handouts. They are investments that create opportunity in communities that have been left behind. Just 7 months ago, Congress reauthorized EDA for the first time in 20 years with strong bipartisan support. I know many of my colleagues here know how important these investments are for their constituents. So why are we slashing programs that we just modernized and endorsed? The timing of the ITA cuts are even harder to defend, given the unprecedented chaos that President Trump's tariffs have unleashed in our global economy. Small and medium-sized businesses are drowning in rising costs and struggling to navigate unpredictable trade policies. Yet this bill fails to invest in the lifeline that ITA provides. The businesses that ITA helps don't have armies of trade lawyers. They rely on ITA to help them export, understand regulations, address trade barriers, and navigate the global marketplace. ITA's anti-dumping and trade enforcement work also protects American jobs from countries that don't play fair. You can't make America great by making it harder for our American businesses to compete. I appreciate my colleague's amendment to restore critical investments in EDA and ITA and urge your support. I yield back.
Thank the gentlelady. The gentlelady from Connecticut, the ranking member of the full committee, Ms. DeLauro, is recognized to address the amendment.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I rise in support of this amendment, which funds the Economic Development Administration and the International Trade Administration, two agencies which are essential in our fight to level the playing field for American workers. The EDA provides grants and assistance for distressed communities that have suffered from economic trends like offshoring, as well as from natural disasters. It helps communities like Red Lodge, Montana, which was awarded a $2.9 million grant for roadway and stormwater infrastructure improvements that will support business growth in the city and improve the city's resilience against future flooding. The EDA's Disaster Supplemental Grant Program has made available approximately $1.45 billion to support economic recovery activities following major disaster declarations. Just in the last year, they have funded projects to help communities hit by disasters in Kentucky, Virginia, Florida, Puerto Rico, North Carolina, Washington, California, and more. EDA helps small businesses as well. In 2017, Romeo Chocolates received a $50,000 loan from the EDA's revolving loan fund, which helped him acquire furniture, equipment, and working capital that helped that small business expand its operations by establishing a permanent retail location. And it helps larger manufacturers. It helped Newport Biodiesel Inc., leverage $400,000 in loan funds to finance the cost of purchasing and installing new biodiesel tanks for their businesses, which turns used cooking oil into clean burning fuel and employed 27 people. Last year, it was reauthorized on a bipartisan basis, allowing it to make investments in high-speed broadband, increasing the resources for technical assistance of local economic development projects, and supporting the expansion of facilities for workforce training, so that the EDA supports job creation, innovation, opportunity, particularly for areas of the country that have suffered economically. And the International Trade Administration helps to fight unfair foreign trade practices, like when countries flood American markets with underpriced goods in an effort to put American competitors out of business. They also help American companies get a foothold in foreign markets, like Universal Synaptics, a Utah aviation technology company that was able to secure a $1.5 million contract with an Indonesian company through a trade mission organized by ITA specialists. And ITA helped JQ American, an oil and gas energy equipment company based in California, successfully secure $5.3 million in sales for energy projects in Oman and beyond. American companies exporting American product isn't that what this administration claims that it's all about. ITA helps to monitor imports of products like steel and aluminum. It ensures that we can maintain a level playing field for American businesses and workers by preventing spikes in low-standard metal imports from abroad. Maintaining stability in these markets is essential for our national security and industrial base. ITA helps protect against dumping of foreign exports into U.S. markets. There are currently nearly 800 products, from wind towers to garlic to biodiesel, that are being monitored by ITA to prevent the dumping of goods. This bill would kneecap our ability to enforce those orders, many of which were imposed under the first Trump administration. President Trump promised to fight for American workers, but since taking office, he's turned his back on them. He has cut programs like Medicaid that families rely on, attacked protections for workers at the Department of Labor, instituted chaotic tariffs that are driving up costs for households by over $2,000, according to the Yale Budget Lab. Now Republicans are cutting the agencies designed to help workers, American workers and businesses. The results speak for themselves. We have lost nearly 78,000 manufacturing jobs since President Trump took office, including 12,000 jobs this August alone. We should be investing in agencies and programs that help create economic activity, or those jobs will continue to disappear. Our communities will continue to suffer higher costs. I urge my colleagues to support this amendment, and I yield back.
Thank the gentlelady. The gentlelady from Ohio, Ms. Capter, is recognized to address the amendment.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members. I rise in very strong support of the Mervan Amendment, and it's about jobs in this country and investment. With unemployment at a 3-year high and manufacturing jobs already down over 78,000 since the beginning of this year, America's economy is sending a clear warning, and that's why the EDA is especially important, as well as the International Trade Administration. Inflation, as we all know, continues to burden families. Food costs are up nearly 3%, and most of the other goods about 2.7%. And I'm hoping that in placing this on the record, as this bill goes to conference, we might be able to help with additional funding for the EDA and the International Trade Administration. The EDA and the Department of Commerce help put people back to work, and that's what we want. The EDA helps to fund projects in communities across this country in partnership with those communities to make it easier to start or to expand businesses. They really do have excellent advice. And with all we're going through with these trade wars now, we have to really look at the International Trade Administration to make sure that we stay on the straight and narrow and that we export more than we import. That's hard, but we have to keep aiming at that. And also, the trade promotion that they do at the Department of Commerce is really important, and removing trade barriers by trying to negotiate and to expand markets abroad. It's easy to say, hard to accomplish. Just in the field of agriculture, I want to put on the record that we do have an export crisis. Back in 2018, that particular period of time cost farmers $26 billion in agricultural losses and ended our 60-year streak of agricultural trade surpluses. So the curve bent there in the wrong direction, and we really haven't picked up. Soybean exports to China, our largest buyer, collapsed from, get this, $12.3 billion to $3.1 billion as China permanently shifted its purchases and suppliers to Brazil and to Latin America, and we've lost that market share. The ongoing trade war has caused us another 39% loss in the markets. The numbers prove it. And American farmers are losing critical edge in markets they had dominated before. Not a single soybean shipment to China was booked by American farmers this year. That's a shocking number. The International Trade Administration is our farmers' lifeline, providing market intelligence, removing trade barriers, and promoting American agriculture worldwide. And finally, I wanted to say that the enforcement powers of ITA are really important, used to hold foreign nations to account in their anti-dumping and countervailing duties. I can't tell you whether it's steel, so many other products, all the problems we have in manufacturing and agricultural America, trying to get a level playing field. And ITA has levied more than $31 million just in fraud by these companies. So a little bit more spent brings more back as we try to hold these companies and countries accountable. So I really urge my colleagues to support this amendment to help create jobs at a time when our country really needs it, and to protect American farmers and manufacturers from any glitches in the economic agenda that is causing more inflation and really deeply hurting our economic growth this year. And I think this is a very constructive amendment. It's not hundreds of millions of dollars that are being asked for, and I would ask for support of the Mervan Amendment. And hopefully, as this bill moves forward, it can be tucked in as we try to repair and work with the Senate. So thank you very much, and I yield back.
Thank you, gentlelady. Are there other members wishing to address the amendment? Seeing none, the gentleman from Indiana is recognized for 1 minute to close.
Mr. Chairman, I just wanted to close in regards to the economy of our nation. And as I mentioned before, for 15 years, I was a township trustee in the region of the largest steel producing area in the nation. And when there are conditions beyond control and people lose jobs because of trade cheats or subsidized steel or aluminum coming into our community, I genuinely sat across from those individuals who lost their job, lost their health insurance, and didn't know what to do next. And so when we talk about reasonable investment, this is a reasonable investment as we go with the new economy of tariffs to understand that you have to have an enforcement agency that protects against our adversary, China, whose Belt and Road philosophy is to outsmart us when it comes to circumventing our trade policies from foreign countries and bringing it into this nation so they could sell their subsidized steel. So bottom line is, if it's not today, maybe tomorrow we can work in a bipartisan way to protect the workers that we stand for. And with that, I yield back.
I thank the gentleman. The question is now on the amendment offered by the gentleman from Indiana. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed say no. The opinion of the chair, the noes have it. Roll call has been requested. Sufficient amount of support is evident. The clerk will call the roll.
Mr. Adderholt. Mr. Adderholt, no. Mr. Aguilar. Mr. Aguilar, aye. Mr. Alford. Mr. Alford, no. Mr. Amadei. Mr. Amadei, no. Mrs. Bice. Mrs. Bice, no. Mr. Bishop. Mr. Bishop, aye. Mr. Calvert. Mr. Calvert, no. Mr. Carter. Mr. Carter, no. Mr. Case. Mr. Case, aye. Mr. Siscomani. Mr. Siscomani, no. Mr. Klein. Mr. Klein, no. Mr. Cloud. Mr. Cloud, no. Mr. Clyburn. Mr. Clyburn, aye. Mr. Clyde. Mr. Clyde, no. Mr. Cole. Mr. Cole, no. Mr. Cuellar. Mr. Cuellar, aye. Ms. Dean. Ms. Dean, aye. Mr. Loro. Mr. Diaz-Balart. Mr. Diaz-Balart, no. Mr. Edwards. Mr. Edwards, no. Mr. Elzey. Mr. Elzey, no. Ms. Escobar. Ms. Escobar, aye. Mr. Espaillat. Mr. Espaillat, aye. Mr. Fleischman. Mr. Fleischman, no. Ms. Frankel. Ms. Frankel, aye. Mr. Franklin. Mr. Franklin, no. Mr. Gonzalez. Mr. Gonzalez, no. Mr. Guest. Mr. Guest, no. Mr. Harder. Mr. Harder, aye. Dr. Harris. Dr. Harris, no. Mrs. Hinson. Mr. Hoyer. Mr. Hoyer, aye. Mr. Ivy. Mr. Ivy, aye. Mr. Joyce. Mr. Joyce, no. Ms. Capter. Ms. Capter, aye. Mr. LaLota. Mr. LaLota, no. Ms. Lee. Ms. Letlow. Ms. Letlow, no. Mr. Levin. Mr. Levin, aye. Ms. Malloy. Ms. Malloy, no. Ms. McCullum. Ms. McCullum, aye. Ms. Ming. Ms. Ming, aye. Mr. Molinar. Mr. Molinar, no. Mr. Moore. Mr. Moore, no. Mr. Morelli. Mr. Morelli, aye. Mr. Mervan. Mr. Mervan, aye. Mr. Newhouse. Ms. Perez. Ms. Perez, aye. Ms. Pingree. Ms. Pingree, aye. Mr. Pocan. Mr. Pocan, aye. Mr. Quigley. Mr. Quigley. Mr. Quigley, aye. Mr. Reschenthaler. Mr. Reschenthaler, no. Mr. Rogers. Mr. Rogers, no. Mr. Rutherford. Mr. Rutherford, no. Mr. Simpson. Mr. Simpson, no. Mr. Strong. Mr. Strong, no. Mrs. Torres. Mrs. Torres, aye. Miss Underwood. Miss Underwood, aye. Mr. Valadeo. Mr. Valadeo, no. Miss Wasserman Schultz. Miss Wasserman Schultz, aye. Mrs. Watson Coleman. Mrs. Watson Coleman, aye. Mr. Womack. Mr. Womack, no. Mr. Zinke. Mr. Zinke, no.
Are there any members wishing to vote or change their vote? Gentlelady from Nevada.
Ms. Lee, aye.
Are there any others wishing to change their vote or record their vote? Seeing none, the clerk will tally. Don't call anything yet. We got somebody coming. Gentlelady from Connecticut.
Mr. Luro votes aye.
On this vote, the ayes are 28, the noes are 33. The amendment is not adopted.